Hi, I am IT PhD and today we will start our lesson in C language and we will learn the very basics. We will develop a game together, so it will be interesting tutorial. I mean, not a boring thing when you have to learn in a hard way, but I'll try to give you my experience in C language, how to learn it in a happy way. In an interesting way. So we will create our small game, and you do not need to know any of C language syntaxes or anything. I'll tell you everything, and if you know something, it will be also fun. So let's start. We always start at our environment. So in my previous videos I showed you that there are plenty of different compilers, so when you write a program in C language, you have to compile it. So there are lots of different possibilities to compile your game. So for example, I have at my PC some Visual C++. It has its own compiler. I have a board C builder, C++ builder. It has its own compiler, so it's called Rad Studio. And I showed the video previously how to compile in these environments. But we will use simply a GCC compiler, this one, so you could download it from the website, binaries, download Cygwin or MinGV, and I made the videos how to install it via MinGV or Cygwin, so make your choice. We'll use GCC. So I create a file at my desktop. I called it 1.c, and here in this file I'm starting. So first we need to include stdio.h. What does it mean? Simply we include code of this file. So we include this file to our program. And actually this stdio.h, it's a library. So we could even open it and to check its source code, because it's kind of open source library, and here we could find, for example, a function which we will use today, which we will start, but it wouldn't be common way to use. They're easier to find it with a space. Yeah, so yeah, there it is, printf. So what's stdio.h? It's standard, std standard, I it's input, o it's output. So it's library for input and output. And when we will use some functions in our program, we will take them basically from this file we will use. That's why we include it. It's called preprocessor directive. When we use any of hashes before our command, it means that we call preprocessor. What I'm doing right now, I'm writing a comment. So when you want to give yourself or some other programmers who might read your program, when you want to make some notes which wouldn't be compiled by your compiler, they wouldn't be included to the program, you could use this / and then write a comment. So also there are some other types of comments, but we will start with this one. So then all programs in C language, they are going in, they starting in main function. So for now, just take it as a true that all stuff starts here. So any program in C language which you will write it inside of this function. So we will talk about functions a lot later on, but for now just remember that function, it has in the beginning of the function, it's a type which it return, and also in these brackets it's a type of data, it's a type of variables which it accepts. But for now, just listen these words, and you do not need to understand them for now. But you will. It's good that you will recognize them later when we will talk about it. So this function, it will return 0. So all functions in C, they should return something. Oh, they shouldn't, it's not obligatory, but main function is better to return something. So it's basically when we complete this function, when we complete the code, which will be here, it will return at the end 0. 0, it means that program worked all right. So if you might met 404 error in the internet, maybe you saw such number, it means that something went wrong with the website. So basically it's kind of code. And in C language it's the same. You could return some errors with these numbers of return of your main function, and if everything is good, it returns 0. It's like tradition. Okay, and now we will write our first sentence, first function, printf. So it's function which prints something on the screen. Let's print not a hello world, which is traditional, but we will develop game right on. So we will print you attacked by goblin. So goblin attacked us. It's a big problem, but we will try to survive and defeat it. So what does it mean? It means that print, it's mean print, like print something on the screen. So this will be printed, and f, it means formatted. What does it mean we will understand later, but for now let's just run this program. Shift and right click on the desktop, and here you could find PowerShell and run program from here like this. So like gcc 1.c, and if we will execute this program, it will generate us a.exe. It's because we didn't provide output. So if we want to generate proper name, we do like gcc 1.c -o, which means output, like output us please 1.exe. Then it's output us 1.exe. The same thing you could do in command prompt. So if you will just press window key and then no, it's better to do it like you press window R at the keyboard to have a run here, and here you could write like cmd. Yeah, or you could do it, yeah, like this. It's kind of the same. So here you could also summon command prompt. Here you need first change directory, so cd to desktop, because by default it starts in our home directory in our user. So we need to change to desktop, and then we could also make like gcc 1.c output 1.exe. So if we will do it, yeah, we could just do it again. So we generate executable file and we could run it, and you see it works. We are attacked by goblin, but I'll use my macro here. I made the video how to compile your code right on in your Notepad++. So with one hotkey, I press one hotkey and it works. So just watch my videos if you want to use it this way to compile. So now what we want to do, we want to make some more stuff happen to us. We are attacked by goblin. Let's you killed goblin. So we killed the goblin, and then you found 10 gold. So we get some gold from the goblin. Very nice. Let's run this program, and we see that, okay, it works, but it's at the same line. And we want to print it in different lines. So how to do so? To do so, we add escape sequence \n. What does it mean, this \n? So if we will add it here and run, we will see that, okay, now it's worked properly. So basically, all characters which you enter with your keyboard, it's they have certain number. Each symbol has its own number. There is an ASCII table, which gives for any character certain number, and when you press enter, it's also a certain number. So for enter, when you press enter, it means that you make line feed character. Line feed, it means you go down one row. So when you enter something like 1, 2, 3, and then you press enter, it means that after 1, 2, 3, you actually also entered LF symbol, this one. So you see, what's in this table? Each character has its own code. For example, A it's 65, B it's 66, or small a it's 97, small b 98. So each character and our keyboard has its own code. And enter key, it has LF10 code. So it means that when we want to move to the next line, we should press this, we should input this LF character. And actually you could find this LF character. So if you open any text document and you will go to view in Notepad++ or other editor, and you choose show symbol, show all characters, you will see here these invisible characters, CRLF. CR, it means carriage return, so you could also find it here. It's number 13, you see here, number 13 carriage return. And LF, it's 10 line feed. So when we enter anything at our keyboard, you see I just put some enters. It's automatically insert these characters. So let's hide them for now. And so for us, if we want to output certain strings, what we want to do? We want to add this invisible character. And the way to add it, because yeah, we use symbols here, and for enter there is no there is no visible, it's not visible for humans. So to give it to computer, to your PC in C language, you use such escape sequence like \n. It means that you send like this 10th code line feed. Also, there are plenty of other escape sequences. For example, tab. So what means tab? You see, when we wrote this code, we made some spaces between the code, so it will be easier to read it. So because when we read something like this, it's not so fun, because we might have a lot of levels here. So if we will add some more functions. So to make such space, you press tab, you see. And for tab character, actually I use spaces, so I replace tabs with spaces. It's done automatically with Notepad++, but it's not really matters right now. The thing is that you could send these tab characters also. So if we will press a /t, it means that we will send tab character, and you see we have such empty space before our stroke. So we could make some more of them. And you see they didn't work. Why? Because I didn't save. So yeah, you should always save before you compile. So you see, now it works. There are plenty of different characters. For example, special escape sequence. For example, there is a special escape sequence /a, and if we will perform it, you hear it's like alarm. So it's escape sequence for alarm. So you could make some noises already here. So yeah, and another escape sequence interesting. It's like E. It means escape, which we press sometimes. So we made this beautiful thing. It's already working, and we attack, kill goblin, and get 10 gold. But what if we attack we meet a lot of goblins? So something like this. Oops. So we will just copy it several times, and we like have 3 goblins here. So if we will run this command, we will see that, okay, we fighting a lot of goblins. But now we decided, okay, we want to change number of gold. So goblin wouldn't drop 10 gold, but wouldn't drop 15. What we need to do for it to do so? We need to change every number, which is quite a hard job if you have like thousands of such lines. So you need to correct every of it. So sometimes when you like make real game or real program, you have like billions of such fields, and you can't change them manually. It's really a bad thing to do. That's why the most important thing in programming in any language, it's a variable. So variable, we could use a variable to replace this number, and it will be we will need to change it only once to change it everywhere. So to define variable, we first tell type of it variable. So we will use int, which means integer. We will call it gold. So we want to have different gold for our goblins. Then we press equal sign, which means that we want to bind to the gold, to this variable of this such type. We want to bind certain number, for example 15. So we want to make our variable equal to 15, and then we press end this command with semicolon. So all commands in C language, it ends with semicolon like this. So it's like end of instruction, of this instruction. And now what we could do here, so let's just clean up a bit. We could replace this number in the text. We could replace with this variable. How to do it with printf format? We enter %d. %d, it's we came finally to the printf. Print is just print stuff, but f means formatted. So this function printf gives us possibility to insert something in its strings. So if we will do something like this, after quotes we enter gold. It means that we take variable gold and we insert it instead of this %d. D means decimal, so it's kind of if you want, you could use character, for example, or string. So you, for this printf format string, you could insert, there are different types of data. So D means integer, so we put here integer. So if it will be C, it will be character, if we will have character variable here. Later on we will have, so I'll show you. But for now it will be like this. So now if we will run the program, you see it's already 15 gold. So it means that now if we have a lot of such lines, and if we compile it, you see it's 15 everywhere. So we want to change, and imagine that we have like billions of such, and we want to have 125. We change it only in one place, and it changed everywhere, which is really awesome. It's what we want. Now let's make our fight more realistic. Okay, we met the goblin, we kind of kill it, but it's all just words. Let's make our fight real. So we will implement a new variable, which we will call, we will call it goblin hit points, goblin HP, like hit points of this goblin. Each goblin will have like 3 hit points, 3 lives. So every time when we attack the goblin, it will we will reduce 1 life out of it. So okay, we attacked by goblin, and let's take a look how much lives goblin have. Let's write it here. Goblin has has %d, because we want to insert this variable, hit points. And here we kinda, let's replace goblin by it. It has. So it will be shorter. And we write it here, goblin HP. So if we will run it, we see that goblin has 3 hit points because we have such variable here. So let's imagine we fight with this goblin, and we're not killing it right on, but you attack goblin, and we will after we attack goblin, you attacked goblin. So now he attacked us, and you kick goblin. Yeah, we kick goblin. It has some hit points now. So we will make a kick to the goblin, and it will have some smaller amount of hit points. But for now, it's kind of the same. So we kick the goblin, it has 3 hit points, the same amount. How to reduce amount of hit points for goblin? It's very easy. We will just perform an operation with this variable. So goblin has 3 hit points, and we could say that, okay, make this variable goblin hit points, make it, let's reduce it by 1. So how to do it? We take a goblin hit points. So we say that, okay, this variable it's equal to goblin hit points minus 1. And so we change the variable. Here it's 3 hit points. Here it's also 3 hit points. Here our variable will be equal to, of course, 2. So this time when our kick happen, goblin will have 1 hit point less. Let's take a check. Yes, you see? Now it has 2 hit points. So we made our blow. Our program become more interesting. So, but still, goblin has goblin alive for now. He has 2 hit points, so we need to perform we need to make several blows. So we need to make another kick. So let's make another kick, and he will have 1 hit point. Yeah, you see? So we kick 1, we kick 2, and finally we made our final kick, and goblin become dead. Poor goblin. So it looks like this. And okay, it looks all right. But what we could do here, we could use the most important instruction in any programming languages. How computer works, how all neural nets works. Everything written with ifs. If else, it's kind of a possibility for us to control computer behavior. So we want to check if our goblin dead, we will get the loot from it. So we will get the gold. Because if we have something like this, so for example, you see, we made only 1 blow to the goblin, and we already have 15 gold from it, but it's still alive. It shouldn't be like this. You see, we should get the gold only when goblin dead. How to do it? We need to add check. Is goblin dead or not? So to do so, we use if statement, and we will in if statement, inside of the brackets, you could make a check. So is goblin hit points less than 1? There are a lot of different different checks. So equal or less, or some logical operators. It's kind of the same thing as plus, minus. It's all arithmetic, relational, logical, or some other operators. So for example, this equal sign, it's also it's relational operation, because we kind of assign to this variable, we assign this value. So from to the left, we assign right. And here it's the same thing. So we have operator, which is relational. So it means that if goblin has less than 1 hit points, then it will have 0, it means. So less than 1 is 0. Then it will be dead. So we use our curly brackets, which used to define a piece of code which only bound to this section, to this if. So example, we have this curly brackets for int, for int main void, and it's kind of combine all this stuff inside. And these brackets, they combine stuff which will be here. So for example, if we'll do like this, it's all will be influenced for this if. So but let's check first. So if goblin hit point less than 1, we have gold. Let's check. Okay, you see, this time we kick goblin has 2 hit points and we do not have any gold. We do not have any gold here. And to make it's more interesting, to make this if more interesting, we could add at the end else. So what does it mean? It means that if this didn't happen, so if this statement was false, if it didn't happen, then perform this one. So we could add here like printf and say that, okay, our goblin run away. Goblin. Yeah, so it will be like this. You see, we didn't finish goblin, so he managed to run away. And this if-else concept, it's actually how all programs in your PC works. All the most complex stuff, like all these neural networks, all Bitcoin stuff, all artificial intelligence, it's all made by basically these statements, if and else. So yeah, it's kind of most foundational statements in programming. So everything written with them. So now let's make our program. Let's finish our goblin so he wouldn't run away. And how to do so? We will add here interaction, real interaction, when you should press certain keys at here keyboard, and you will be able to control your character. And you could decide, should you kill the goblin or should you run away from it. So how to do so? To do so, we use first of all, we need to add a variable, like a small box, where we will store user input. So in our case, it will be, we will call this variable our action, and it will have type char, which means like a character, like a one letter, A, B, C, something. So this type char, and variable will be called action. And we will, for now, we will even, it will stay empty. So we will make just definition of this variable. So we could put it in the beginning. So let's make user input. To do so, we use function getchar. What it makes? Getchar takes a user input. So when you press something at the keyboard, it's take it to the buffer, to a certain place where it holds it, and then we could kind of operate with this buffer. So in our case, we will make action equal to this function. It means that we will try to put to this box, to action box, we will put something which user input. Let's run the program. And it's ask us like something, and we could say like A. Okay, so we made an input, but in this place it wouldn't be really good, so we need to move it a bit later. So after we attacked goblin, we will have user prompt, so like this. Okay, you attack goblin, and now we could like decide what to do. For example, attack, yeah, and we kicked some goblin, something like this. But of course, we need first to ask player what to do. So let's remove this line about how much hit points it has, and we will just give a choice, and we will write it like attack or run, and it will look like this. So you could make a choice to attack goblin or to run. So if we choose attack A, then we will kick it. If run, we will run away. How to perform it? So here we need to make a check. Again, we need to make if statement. So we will check if action equal. So it's very big difference between one equal sign and two signs. So one equal sign, it's assignment. It means that we want to assign this value to this variable. It's one equal sign. But if we use two equal signs together, it means that we check is stuff on the left equal to stuff on the right. So action, if action equal to A, if user pressed A, then perform the blow and actually make all this stuff. Yeah. So we make again this curly brackets. They define like area which will affect it. So it looks like this. Let's try. So we will try first. We will try like R button, and you see our program didn't make anything. So if we now try A, you see it works. It works because our action was A. So the thing is that we have interesting thing here. We have big A and small a, and it's different. So if we will try to input big A, it didn't work. Why? Because it's different characters. So if we will open our ASCII table, let me put it here. Yeah. So if we will open it, you will see that small and big letters, they have different codes. So big A, capital A has 65 code and small a 97. So it's different values. And yeah, we should make it proper. To do so, we use logical operator. It's called OR, like OR. Do you want coffee or tea? So it's like two vertical lines. Also there are like, for example, AND logical operator and some others, but for now we will need this OR operator. So we will say that if action it's A, or if it's A capital. And now if we will try it, now it will work if we will press A capital or small a. Cool. But yeah, let's make choice if user press R and player want to run away. So we can say like this, like else. So if we have A, then we will attack user. So else if we could use not only else operator, but we could use else if. And else if it will check like second step out of first if. So if else if action means R, then let's say that our goblin, we run away from goblin like this. You run away from goblin. Goodbye. So let's try it. And we press R and we run away. So our game ends. And if we could also add check like else. So if user entered anything else except R and except A, we could say that like I don't incorrect input. Okay, so if user press something like S, it's incorrect input. So we made such check. So it's important thing that we could make an if statement to check first condition. Then if this condition, if this check is false, then it will go to second one and check it. And if we have, for example, several of such checks eventually, and they all false, then will work only else. But actually else it's not actually obligatory thing. So we could have just if and else if it will work. And we wouldn't just get any other variants. So it's totally up to you how to do it. But for now, let's simplify our program a bit. So it will be a bit smaller, because now we will look into another important instrument, which called cycle. Because when we run our program, we could make only one hit, and it will be quite stupid if we will just copy paste all this blows manually. It's really kind of not really interesting. It's not how it should be. So we could make our program work in a cycle. Like, so this stuff will be repeated, and it's basically this cycle. It's a concept which used everywhere. For example, so when you run the program, it works from the beginning toward the end, and it go like this. When it's ended, okay, it's done. So for example, if you run a calculator, if it wouldn't have a cycle, it will just be started and then it will be closed. How calculator works? It's go in cycle. So this program code, which it's written in something like this, by the way. So this program code, it's go by cycle. So somewhere in the middle of this program, there is a loop. It's called a loop. And there are different types of loops. Not too much, really, like only while, for, and do while. So there are three types of loops in C. And we will use a while. Actually, with a while you could make a for or anything. So it's very nice cycle. And how to use it? We want to make a check when this stuff running. So while it looks like an if statement. So in our brackets we give a condition. So while action isn't equal to R, so if we want to run from Goblin, we will perform our cycle. So this is, we have relational operator equal, like which check is action equal to A, and we have also relational operator not equal. So if action not equal to R, then make something which will be inside of this loop. So let's create this loop, and we simply will move all this stuff inside of this loop. To move everything to the right or to the left, you could use tab key. So if you select everything and press tab, it will move to the right. If you select everything and press shift tab, it will move to the left. So it's the way how you could control your intended. So yeah, that's why we need these spaces. We need these spaces to understand certain blocks of code, so it will be easier to understand each operation which parent it has. So for while cycle, we will perform all which is inside of these brackets. We will make it we will repeat it. So how while works? We enter our character, so user put his input, then while check. Okay, if action, so while kind of hits, look, makes this check. So if action not equal to R, then go inside, and it's go inside like this, and then it's go back when it's finished. It's go back and go inside and go again, and after the end, when while ends, it's perform this check again. So it's go down, it's perform check. If it's true, it's go down again. It's perform check. If it's true, it's go down again. And if it's false, it will just exit the cycle. And yeah, for example, we could write here already like print f you run away, goodbye. So let's try our program. You attack goblin, attack or run. If we will press A, you see it's starting work, but the thing is that it's endless cycle, because we do not have here check. Our goblin, we kinda attack him, and we do not have here exit from our cycle. We need to make proper fighting. So if goblin will have 0 hit points, it will die, and we will fight with another goblin. So let's make it. And yeah, by the way, if we run the program and we will press R to run away, we wouldn't enter the cycle. You see, if we press R, our action is equal to R, then we go away. We do not enter here. So if it's not R, we go inside. If it's R, we run away. So it's how we solved the problem. But yes, we have this endless infinite cycle here. Why? Because so when we press A to fight the goblin, we make one blow, and then goblin, it still has more than one hit point. So then it makes another blow, checks, okay, we get some gold, another, and goblin, he kind of dead, but we do not have fight with another goblin. So it's kind of going into infinite cycle. How to deal with it? So to do so, let's make proper fighting system here. So we will fight with the goblin. Inside of this cycle, we will have in the end, because yeah, when we enter the cycle, user already made his command. So we player said something, give to action some variable like R or A. So inside of the cycle, we also should ask every time when we kill the goblin, we will ask player to fight with another one. So every time when we have one go through the cycle, we will ask player what to do, and we will tell it like this: printf what's next. We will ask, and then what's next. And we will just repeat this: attack or run. So do we want to run or to continue attack? Let's run it. Now it's asks us what to do. We say, okay, attack. We attack, and it's asks us twice. Yeah, we will deal with this problem, but we do another attack. We do another attack, and we finished our goblin. It's dead. So we could make another attack, but yeah, it's already dead. We need to get another goblin, a live one. So first, let's first deal with the goblin. We need to make our fighting cycle to remove from it check for the if goblin dead or not, because we want to perform our code more effectively. So we will make our fighting when we just fight the goblin, make a kick, and we have our check if goblin dead later on, like this. Actually, what we could do here, we can make another while here inside, and to have fights inside of this place. Yeah, but we will go like this. So let's check A. Yeah, now let's get rid of this repeating text. So why when we run the game we have this what next twice. And here we need to go back to ASCII table, so and take a look at this stuff. As you remember, when you enter any character to your input, you enter this character and also you add a line feed character, like 10 line feed character. It means that here in this first interaction, when we summon this getchar action, we press, for example, A, and then we press enter. It means that to action variable it's become assigned first what we entered, it's A. But second key press enter, it's still in the buffer. So first this which means like 10, which has 10th code. So when we press it here, this enter still stay in the buffer. Then we check action equal to R. No, it's A, so it's going here, everything is fine. And then when we come to this place, when we ask should we attack or run, it puts this getchar, its function which just gets something from the buffer, and buffer already contain enter sign, and it's just take this enter which we have from here as in heritage, and it puts to the action variable. And then we go back to the while cycle to the beginning, and we check is action equal R. No, it's not equal R, it's equal enter, and it's go here, it's go here. And as it's not A, we do not perform any blows and nothing checks here, so it's just print this line again, and then it's ask us for proper input. So here getchar finally works, and we press here like A, then we press enter, and again action become equal to A. So still we have this leftover enter here. So we need to defeat this leftover enter, and to do so we need to clear buffer. There are different ways to do it, but the most simple way for this tutorial, I think we will use it, it's just get another getchar. If you put this function just without any variables, it will just take something, take one char, because here it's like get character, one character, it's not a string, so you get one character out of the buffer. So we will make a comment like clear buffer. So now if we will run our program and we will try to attack goblin, now you see we have a proper input here. So you see we made such nice program. Of course there are plenty of possibilities to improve it, and we will make in our next videos we will implement all these possibilities. For example, right now if we will continue to enter A, we will continue to kick that goblin and get some gold from it, which is not very fun. So we will improve it our next lesson. So please subscribe to my channel. I'll make much more tutorials for you, very detailed, very simple, and we will finish this game to make it really interesting. Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and write your comments. Bye bye.